Hello, welcome to our fun piano lesson today. Now, I'm excited because today's lesson was chosen by you, the patrons. And over the course of the month of February, we had chosen some interesting love songs that are very popular and fun to learn. And with the poll choice that has been decided, we are learning a whole new world from Aladdin. So, I have my music here printed out, as I hope you do too, and we can get started. Don't forget to like and comment on the video, letting me know if you like the lesson and if things are going well. Also, don't forget to join our Discord server. So if you're looking for a little bit of help on these songs, you can hop on Discord and ask any question regarding your piano learning, and I'll be there to help you all the way through, okay? And then just a huge thank you, of course. Thanks so much to you, my patrons, who are making all of this possible. Without your financial support, I wouldn't exist on YouTube and Discord. So thank you so much for making that commitment every month. We have our music here. We're gonna go ahead and open it and talk a little bit about it, okay? Now, here with A Whole New World, the first thing I want you to do is grab a pencil, okay? Let's take a look at the key signature of this piece. Now I see two sharps, and there's an F sharp and a C sharp. Now if you've been paying close attention to your key signatures in your music, then you know that two sharps in the key signature is D major, okay? Now D major, I know it's D major because it is beginning with a low D in the left hand. And then at the very end of the piece, I see a D major triad with a D. So that's really telling me that the whole piece is going to be in D major, okay? Next here, we're going to see the time signature. Now I see it's 4/4 time, which is great because all of you know very well that we're gonna have 4 beats per measure inside of this beautiful piece. Now I see some really interesting things happening in the left hand with sort of this arpeggiated feel to the left hand melody, okay? So let's go ahead and begin by playing through the D major scale just to make sure we're aware of where those sharps are going to be, okay? I'll switch to piano B and we'll do it together. So the D major scale, we're going to start with our finger 1 thumb on D. We're going to stretch out our fingers and we're going to do the finger pattern 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, this is in the right hand. Let's begin. We've got D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. Now let's go down. D, C sharp, B, A, G, cross over your 3, F sharp, E, D. All right, so that's your right hand D major scale. Now, we also need to do the same thing in the left hand. So let's find our D in the bass clef. It's here. We're going to start with our finger 5 pinky on that D. Let's play through it. D, E, F sharp, G, A, cross your 3 over, B, C sharp, D. Let's go down. D, C sharp, B, cross under, 1 on A, G, F sharp, E, and D. So there you go. There's your D major scale. Try it hands together. So first things first, we're going to begin with the left hand, okay? The very first 12 measures is going to explore what is going on with the left hand. We have some measures that are arpeggiated and others that have some chords, okay? Let's try that left hand together now. The introduction begins with a nice low D. So let's start there with our finger 5. Now because it's arpeggiated, we're going to have to stretch out our hand a bit, okay? The first 4 measures begin like this. D, A, E, F sharp. Okay, you see how I'm crossing that finger over? Let's try that again. D, A, E, F sharp. Okay? Now with that motion, you'll see how I'm keeping it going, and then it does it again. Same pattern, and once more. Very nice. So as the introduction, you see the pattern D, A, E, F sharp. That happens 4 times in the 4 measures of the introduction. Once we start getting into the first verse, you see the pattern change slightly. So instead of D, A, E, F sharp, we have a D, A, D, 2, 3, and D, A, E, F sharp. You see the pattern again? Here we go. D, A, D, 3, 4. Now we go down to a B, then a C sharp. Nice. Next we have a G and B, and a C and A sharp. Very nice. B, 2, then A natural, G, A, syncopated, and there's the intro again. Very good. Yeah. How are those first 12 measures? It's a little bit funny once we start getting past and further into the first verse, but it's a very, very beautiful pattern once you have it together with a melody in the right hand. So I'm really excited to teach that part to you. Let's play through the intro and the first verse once more. The first ending, measures 1 through 12, left hand by itself, okay? We can do this. Okay. I'm going to count off. 1, 2, ready, play. Hold. Hold. Good, last time. Verse 1. Good job. Measure 7. D, A, D. 3, 4. Now a B. C sharp. Good. G and B. C and A sharp. Hold. Now a B. 2 and A. 2. G. A. Hold. Now the pattern. Very nice. All right. See, it's coming together really, really nicely, that section. Okay. Now, I want to see if we can do the right hand now for those first 12 measures as well. Okay. Now, we have 1 full measure of rest at the beginning, and then we come in on the upbeat of the second beat in measure 2. Okay. So that sounds something like, for our count off, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, right? Something like that. Okay, so let's see if we can try to figure that out, okay? I'll switch to piano view. This is right hand only, and I will say note names as I play. Here we go. This is such a pretty song. I'm really glad that you guys chose this one. So I'm going to start with my finger 1 thumb on my A above middle C. I'm going to stretch my pinky up to my F sharp, since we have an F sharp in the key signature. All right, let's count off. 1, 2, 3, 4, ready, and A, F sharp, G, E, F sharp, D, 2, 3, 4, A, hold, G, F sharp, F sharp, E, G, F sharp, D, low, A. low A, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Now, I know that was probably a little confusing with the rhythm, right? There's a lot of syncopation going on here, but if you remember the lyrics of the song, that's when you can get really intricate on those upbeats and offbeats where these notes change, okay? Now, precision-wise with the rhythm, I think it's important to try our best to play it as it is written here because it's a good test of your note reading skills and your rhythm skills, okay? So if you need to break it down into counts like a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, you can absolutely do that, okay? You'll start to understand where those right hand notes line up with the left hand notes, and it'll make a lot of sense as you're playing hands together, okay? Let's try the right hand once more, starting with the introduction. I'm not going to say note names this time. I'm going to focus a little bit more on the rhythm, okay? So you can see where those upbeats come in and some of those ties play a part in that right hand melody, okay? You got this. All right, here we go. Starting at the beginning, I'm going to count off the first full measure and then the beat and a half of measure 2. I'm beginning with my right hand finger 1 on my A above middle C and my pinky on the F sharp above that to make a 6th. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, ready, and beat up. A, 2, 3, 4. A, hold, G, F sharp, hold, A, 2, 3, 4, hold, good, nice, E, D sharp, F sharp, C sharp, E, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, you heard those ands, right? Especially in that first ending section in measure 11 and 12. There's a lot of like upbeat movement. So that's when you're going to have to really pay close attention to those counts when you see those notes coming in on the ands. That's why I count like that, so that way you can hear exactly how it's lining up, okay? Now, as a treat, let's go ahead and play. I'll play hands together, the introduction and all of verse 1, okay? With that, I feel you'll get a good idea of why that syncopation really makes this song special and how the left hand really plays a part in driving that melody through this whole piece, okay? All right, let's switch. Okay, I've got my left hand in position here, low D. My right hand finger 1 thumb is on that A, and my pinky on the F sharp, okay? Listen for the syncopation. And I'm actually going to count off a little bit more slowly than I had in the past so that you get a really good idea of how it's supposed to go, okay? Now remember, we're only playing measures 1 through 12. After we learn that, we'll move on, okay? 1, 2, ready, play. The first 12 measures, okay? You see why I slowed it down, so you can see where they line up, okay? Remember, it's a really good idea, especially on measures where the rhythm is a little iffy, to take your pencil and draw a line from the right hand note down to where it matches up in the left hand, so you can see the timing of where some of these notes are happening, okay? All right, so once we're done with the first 12 measures, there's a repeat sign. Now, do you know where to repeat back to? We're going to do the verse again, okay? So the repeat sign sends us back to the beginning of measure 5, okay? Not back to the very beginning, because the repeat sign is at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, measure 5, okay? So we will end up playing all that first verse again until we get to measure 11. Now you see the number 1 with the line at measure 11. It's the final measure of the second line. Instead of playing that measure for the second time through, you're going to jump down to the second ending, okay? You'll see it as line 3, measure 2. Okay, there's a big number 2 there. I'm going to put a big star so I know where my eyes need to go, okay? So when I'm teaching now, I'm going to pick it up from right there. This is measure 13. Now measure 13 and 14 are sort of like the in-between measures before we get into the chorus, okay? Now these 2 measures, I'm going to play them hands apart so you can see what's going on in just those 2 measures, okay? It's a little bit of a transition spot, but if you get it just right, it sounds really beautiful, okay? I'll switch to piano view. We're starting with the left hand. All right. Left hand, starting with our low G. That's different, right? All right. We just got finished playing at measure 10, B down to A natural. Now we have a G, okay? So at 13, let's count off. 1, 2, ready, play. G, D, G, 3, 4, D, A, E, F sharp, G, and B, B and D. Ooh, yeah, look at that measure. I'll play it more slowly. Here we go. D, A, E, F sharp, G, and B, B and D. Yeah, one more time. Let's try that again. Down, starting at measure, this is measure 14, the second measure of the second ending. Here we go. D, A, E, F sharp, G, and B, B and D. Very nice. Okay, so now let's look at the second ending, right hand. Okay, the right hand is going to be, if you look at measure 10 on line 2, right hand is playing E, D, C sharp, D. Okay, so now jumping down to measure 13, we have B, C sharp, E, D, F sharp, F sharp, G, B, and then that leads into the chorus of this piece, okay? Let's play that right hand part one more time. This is line 3, measures 2 and 3, right hand only. 1, 2, ready, play. E, C sharp, E, D, F sharp, F sharp, G, B. Okay, now let me play that section hands together, okay? I'll play it slowly. 1, 2, ready, play. Those chords line up with that G and B. Yeah, and that leads right into the chorus there. So let's continue. Let me show my face for a little bit. You see how the roadmap can be a little bit confusing in this piece? That's the reason why I like to break it down into easy to follow steps, okay? Now, going into the chorus now, there's a repeat sign at the beginning of the chorus. That's telling you you're going to end up playing it twice, okay? And itself has a first ending and a second ending, okay? This is for a purpose, right? By doing the chorus twice, it gives you the chance to just really reiterate how special this song is and then come to a beautiful conclusion at the end, okay? We're going to start line 3, measure 4, which is also our measure 15, left hand to begin, okay? Let's give it a try. Okay. Here we are. We're starting with the low A, and this is going to require a little bit of jumping for your left hand. Make sure those fingers are nice and spread out. Use the full motion of your wrist to get you to move, okay? I'm going to say my note names nice and slowly. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. A, E, B, C sharp, D, C sharp, B, A, F sharp, A, C sharp, 3, 4. Now we have E and C sharp, down to C sharp and A. Good. Now we have a D, E, A, 4th. Beautiful. 3, 4. G and A, second. F sharp and A. First ending G, D, G, F sharp. Beautiful. D, F sharp, B. 2. Now we have a 4th E and A. G sharp, G natural and B. And then we have G, A, C sharp, leading into the repeat of the chorus. Okay, let's try that again. It's a little confusing, but that's okay. You guys are doing a remarkable job learning this piece. It's not an easy one. Okay, let's try it again. Low A for the left hand. Starting at measure 15. I'll count off. 1, 2, ready, play. G and A, down to F sharp and A. Good. G, D, G, F sharp. And then up to G, A, and C sharp. Very nice. And it leads back into the chorus again. Okay? Now, something I want to mention about the first ending of the chorus. In the left hand specifically, we have our G, D, G, F sharp. But look at this second measure here in the first ending. We've got D, F sharp, B, minor, right? But look what happens next. We have a 4th E and A, but the bottom E is tied. Okay, so you're going to hold it, and then you're going to move your finger 2 down to the G sharp. So it sounds like it's being played by itself, right? Yeah. Then G and B, and then the lead in. Beautiful. Yeah. It's really, really special, that part. Now let's see if we can do the right hand for the chorus now this time, okay? You got this. All right, so the right hand is beginning on A above middle C, okay? Let's see here. We're starting on an A, and we have a long, long tie, 4 beats with the whole note plus a dotted quarter in the next measure, right? So in the lead-in, in the second ending of the verse above it, so measures 13 and 14, you see how it has that pickup. Yeah, and at measure 15 is where you have your A. Okay, so that's where I'm going to begin. 1, 2, ready, play. A, 2, 3, 4, and tie. F sharp, G, B, A, E, G, F sharp, hold. Triple lift, C sharp, B, A, D, C sharp, B, A, D, F sharp, E, D, B, hold. F sharp, G, B, and then it repeats the chorus again back to the A. Okay, now that's quite interesting with that syncopated rhythm again, okay? This is why I stress the importance of really understanding where those eighth notes, the downbeats and the upbeats line up, right? I think I've said that like 3 times this lesson, but it really is important, okay? So take the time to really figure out that rhythm, okay? Let's try the right hand once more. I'll do my best to do some quick reminders of those accidentals as they're coming up, because I know when I was practicing this piece, I was missing C sharps, and it made it sound awful. So make sure that you've got some of those C sharps written in if you need the extra reminder, okay? I know I do. I'm gonna go ahead and do them now before I totally botch it. Yes, all right. Some of the F sharps I'm pretty good at remembering, but it's the C sharps that always get me, so. Okay, let's do that right hand section again of the chorus. Okay. Here we are with the A, beginning of measure 15. I'll count off. 1, 2, ready, play. A, 2, 3, 4, tie. F sharp, G, B, A, E, G, F sharp, good. F sharp, G, A, C sharp, B, A, hold, D, C sharp, B, A, hold, D, F sharp, B, D, B, D, B, hold, F sharp, G, B, and there you go, okay? Now, we talked a little bit about how this also has a first and second ending, okay? So the first ending, you're only going to play it once, right? Once you've done the repeat of the chorus, which means you'll go back to measure 15, once you reach measure 19, you're going to skip down to the final line, okay? That measure 19 is your cue. I've already written arrows already going down there. Kind of looks like, do you remember the game Chutes and Ladders? And you have to go down ladders and you slide down the slides and things like that. It kind of looks like that in my music. I can show you after we're finished. Actually, I'll just show you now. It's pretty funny. You'll be like, oh, well, that's what she's talking about. Take a look at all my arrows. See? It's like Chutes and Ladders. It's quite funny. Yeah. So with that, you're going to skip down from measure 19 down to measure 23. Okay? That second ending is leading into a nice, beautiful conclusion or finale of this beautiful piece, okay? So it's really got to come together beautifully. Let's see. I'm going to play the chorus hands together, but instead of playing the first ending, well, actually, I probably should play the first ending. Yeah, I'm going to play the first ending, then I'll do the repeat, then I'll go down to the second ending, and we'll work on that final line together, okay? Yes. Let's do that. All right, starting at measure 15. We've got our left hand with our low A, and our right hand is on the A above middle C. Let me count off. 1, 2, ready, play. There's your little preview. The ending is really pretty. So now let's take some time to look at that final line, which includes your second ending and your conclusion, okay? So looking primarily at measure 23, you can see the C sharp that the right hand plays is what you would expect from the first ending as well. But it goes up instead of going down this time. You have C sharp, D, A. It sounds very pretty, right? Right, very nice. The left hand is doing something quite similar to what it was doing in the first ending as well. With the G, D, G, F sharp, right? And then it starts to change. We have our chord, D, F sharp, B, and then the next one is sort of similar to what we had in the first ending, but it includes a tied note, right? We have E, A, B, and then we have a tie on the E and the B, but the inner note or the inner voice there of that chord goes down, right? And then it continues there. But before I get really deep into the left hand, I need to switch to piano view so you know what the heck I'm doing. All right. Left hand. We're going to start here. Final line, low G. Okay. 1, 2, ready, play. G, D, G, F sharp. Very good. Now we have D, F sharp, B. Good. Here's your double tie. E, G, C, very nice with naturals, 4th E, A, and then we end with a D, F sharp, A. Beautiful, huh? Yeah, nice, strong D major chord at the very end there. Let's try that final line once more, okay? Get into position with your low G. This is an arpeggio, so we're stretching out our fingers. 1, 2, ready, play. D, F sharp, B, good, double tie E, A, B, then E, G, C, hold, then E, A, then we have our D major. Very nice. Let's do the same thing with the right hand. Make sure that we've got those notes just right, the way you want them, and really signifying a beautiful ending, okay? All right, let's do this. C sharp. We are above our middle C. This is C sharp up here instead. I'm going to use my finger 4. 1, 2, ready, play. C sharp, D, A, hold, D, F sharp, E, D, E, up to G, F sharp, D, cross over to C sharp, then D again. 2, 3, 4, and tie. 2, 3, 4. Okay, very beautiful. Let's go ahead and get down to business here, okay? There's a couple things to talk about. We know the roadmap is a little funny in this piece, right? It's kind of like Chutes and Ladders, but it's not out of reach, okay? Visual cues will help you. Draw a star, put a sticker, put an arrow. Little things will help remind you of where you're supposed to go next, okay? Also, be wary of dynamics. There are no dynamics written in this piece. I have written in some suggested dynamics, right? I have a nice mezzo forte written for the first 10 measures, okay? Because you're establishing a beautiful melody. Then I switch to a mezzo piano beginning in line 2. This is measure 10, okay? That mezzo piano continues, and I added a crescendo, a measure 12, okay? As you're doing that repeat of the verse, you have that shift back to mezzo forte, then down to mezzo piano. Now, with the transition in your second ending, measures 13 and 14, put a nice crescendo in there, okay? We're going to crescendo all the way to 15, and we're going to play forte all through the chorus, okay? Once you get to the first ending, make it a nice diminuendo, and then a big crescendo at the end, going back into the chorus again, because we have to play twice, okay? Strong forte, we have a nice diminuendo in the last line, which is your second ending, and then I even added a ritardando at the end, because that's what's gonna make it extra special, okay? That's dynamics and a little bit of talk about tempo. Now, I also want to add in some pedal, okay? Now, we're not going to put the whole thing with tons of pedal just being held down the whole time. you're going to have to use your judgment and make sure that we're using overlapping pedal to make it sound connected but not overly watery. Okay? I'm going to play the whole piece for you now with repeats. I hope you enjoy. There is a whole new world. I was a little shaky at the end there, but that was okay. So you get the idea, right? We've got a beautiful love song here, very expressive. You can take some liberties, some rubato with your tempo if you would like. That's perfectly fine. It's very much up to your interpretation. So the pedaling, make sure it's overlapping pedal, nothing too watery, and just have some fun with those dynamics too. Remember, the chorus is the most important part of this piece. All right? I hope you enjoyed this lesson. It was a little complicated, but definitely worth learning. It's a gorgeous piece. All right? Thank you so much for joining me today. Again, thank you so much to my patrons. You are so special. I'm so grateful for all of your support. So I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Have fun practicing. Make sure to hop on Discord if you're having some trouble. And yeah, have some fun playing. I'll see you later. Bye.